Sheikh, I want to ask you, like, how do you make the decision to go from someone who's just kind of accepted Islam, and then a lot of people stop there. They accept Islam and they just kind of take a break and they just live their life. But you decided to like go down this education path, right? Like, why did you decide like to go across the world and to a country like you've never been? Like, what was the thinking and the motivations for you to seek that knowledge and actually do more than just be a Muslim in everyday life?
Necessity is the mother of invention.
Okay.
Um, After I had accepted Islam in Toronto, trying to learn what Islam I could there, realizing that the immigrant Muslims, they were not scholars, they were just average, everyday Muslims with whatever level of understanding they had from their cultural Islamic experience. That left us, left me, and the others. And I should mention here that the brother who had the greatest effect for me to come into Islam from was Dr. Abdullah Hakim Quick, right?
Wow. Okay.
He was the one who had come up from the U.S., along with others, and was giving the dawah. So you could say, I accepted Islam from him. Wow. at his hand, inshallah. But as I was saying, he and I, we were. He had a studious background himself, and he had. We were trying to find some knowledge, and we just couldn't find anything. We were getting a lot of garbled understandings from the various cultures of the people around us. I went off with Jamaat Tabligh to the UK. I was told at the time that there were over 50 mosques in the UK, and that was like amazing. Why? UK 50 mosques, and in every mosque there was a Maulana who is ready to teach you. So I said, okay, this is where I need to be. I need to understand this thing from the source, from a scholarship level, not from the common masses who would be telling me contradictory things. So I went to the UK. I spent the 4 months, the full Monty, as they say, right, of Jamaat Tabligh. I did it the 4 months, and I went to all the masjids, well, it's not all 50, but the major ones in Birmingham, in London, in Sheffield, and the major cities. I went and I sat with the local imam, who was a Maulana, and I had my notebooks with me and I just took notes. I asked them questions, they answered the questions, and I made my notes. And I built my basic, you could say, first level scholarly understanding from that 4-month experience. After coming back, I shared that with the others, what I had learned. But I found that after returning to Canada and being more attached to the masjid, I moved to another masjid. Instead of Boston Avenue, I went to another one called the East End Mosque. And the imam there was Egyptian. And he was now teaching from Fiqh Sunnah, which is a kind of a although people say it's Shafi'i, it maybe leans towards Shafi'i madhab, but it was, it brought the evidences and gave different views. So after coming out of the Jamaat experience as a Hanafi, because I was also told I needed to choose a madhab, right? Because as a Muslim, you must follow one of the four. That's how it was taught. So, it was presented that Abu Hanifa was the first of the great Imams, and the Hanafi Hanafi madhab was the most widely followed. The greater numbers of Muslims are Hanafis. than the others. The others, they said, it's okay, you can follow any one of them, but you need to follow one. But
This
the
is the best.
Hanafi was the best. Well, they didn't say the best, but they said
The
the most followed.
followed. Social proof.
That was
works well.
That implies something,
Yeah.
So anyway, so I became Hanafi, at that time. So now I'm studying with this Imam from Egypt, who was basically Shafi'i, teaching fiqh sunnah. And I'm comparing what I'm learning from him now, which is from a book. I'm taking notes, but these notes are now systematic. Although I compared them with what I had gotten in the 4 months there in England, then I started to see certain issues come up where the idea that all the 4 madhabs were the same, they were equal, they're all correct, you just needed to follow one. I found places where that just didn't work. Because, on a most basic level, where the Hanafi school, what I learned from England, said that if you accidentally touch a woman, your wudu is not broken. But the Shafi'i school said that if you did touch a woman, your wudu is broken. Now, how can both of these be correct at the same time?
Yeah.
Not possible. So this was contradictory differences. Variational differences I could understand.
Yeah.
Prophet ﷺ did this at one time, did that at another time. That's okay. But contradictory differences, that didn't work. So I realized it was necessary for me to go elsewhere. And at that point, Abdullah Hakim, he was doing his own searching through the books which were available in North America. At that time, 2 scholarships became available from Medina, and nobody was interested in them.
Wow.
In the community there. Nobody. Now today, if you said there's 2 scholarships available, people would be fighting each other, cutting limbs, and to get those 2 scholarships. Then nobody was interested. So Abdullah and myself, we said, we'll take it. People were telling, no, don't go. Don't waste your time. You're going to go study these old books which are covered in dust and yellow papers, and this stuff is just totally irrelevant. You will not be able to live a life after that. You're going to be unable to sustain your own families and this kind of thing. Huge discouragement. But we were both committed. We understood that we had to go. There was no ifs, ands, and buts about this.
Amazing.
We had to go to get the knowledge from the sources, to know what Islam really was. Because if we were left to just go with whatever, our cultural Muslim compatriots, were going to tell us, we'll be here, there, up, down, left, right, all over the place. It would just be chaos for us. So we understood there was no other option. We needed to go. So that necessity invented Abdullah Hakim Quick and myself.